All right. Hello, hello, lovely people. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, right?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, because lately, time and I, we're. I'm like, what day is it? What time is it? But hello, everyone. I have a treat for you. Usually when I'm doing these soul chats, I usually don't have a topic, but this is so important that I bring these two amazing people here so they can share this. Like you won't even imagine what their work has done for me, and that's why I'm bringing them on so that you can learn more about it and know why I'm calling them to come in and invite you to step in. So, oh my gosh, Richard, Rosalie, welcome.
Thank you so much, our beautiful sister. We're so honored to be here, and I just love getting on here with you. It always feels just like, friends catching up, old souls coming together to share such a beautiful space of love. And we're just really grateful to have this opportunity to share and speak to you and all of you here joining us live.
Yeah. I was like pausing for Richard.
I was just allowing, the divine feminine to take the lead there. And I was just kind of sitting here and enjoying that.
Yeah. there's a lot of energies that came in the last few hours. So
I
I feel
bet.
like we've been transducing and anchoring since we agreed to do this, really. So
Oh, I believe you. Like the work you guys are doing, it is not for the lazy hearted, the faint hearted. Like, wow. And it's so needed. So one of the reasons why that I wanted you guys to come here and talk about the Christos avatar, it was just actually initiations, because it's just like, whoa, right? It's because if you are a leader, and this is why I'm so passionate about the work that we do. If you're a leader and you're disconnected from your higher self, your spirituality, your light, you're doing yourself injustice. You are doing yourself injustice. It's time to hook back in and learn about who you are and learn about the technologies, but not just from anyone. I'm bringing these two amazing people here because they're programs. Like the first one that I jumped in with them, I was like, what did I get myself into? Where we did all this clearance and,
Yeah.
But what I loved about it is like I can show up as a leader without the clutter and the things that attach to us as leaders as we're putting our light out there. It's like the lantern that attracts all the bugs. We talk about this all the time. Like,
Yeah.
do you have the systems to like clear the bugs and create a sacred space so you can continue to shine? And that's exactly what you guys like. I mean, you bring so much more, but the programs that you guys are bringing to the world right now is exactly what we need. If you're a leader here to create greater impact, you need to learn from these two.
Yeah,
So yeah.
So I think it's really interesting when we look at this, because there's so much, like my beloved and I, and we do like behind the scenes and through our own like journeys, and a lot of the the grid working projects that we've been involved in, as well as working through the stargates and just some of the universal like architecture that we've been put on since like my galactivation, and that a lot of these pieces really had to like come through and stabilize for this like period we're in right now. So we're now able to bring these things to everybody. So with Christos avatar training or initiations, what this is this is about us like reclaiming everything that you are. So in this like time of organic ascension, like your future aspects of you have come point to this like particular time within the universal time matrix to be able to get all of your stuff, every aspect of your being, through your soul, your monad, your avatar, to be able to set your highest like soul trajectory. And not just for you, but like for your genetics, your lineages, your all of our family. And the unique thing about our container as it kind of like continues to build and build and build and hold this until we hit a critical mass, and then it just goes out through the entire like collective, through some of these massive waves that are being sent out, because this is done through all of the universal architecture and everything as well. So it's, we used to do these, in other lifetimes, and they were known as the rainbow round tables, where through like our sacred like union, we would basically, and others, we'd be able to run the rainbow currents through like the universal grid systems and then through the earth systems. And what this would do would create a certain level of like cohesion through the fields to be able to maintain like the optimal frequencies and vibrations and create like a level of safety, security, and protection on the earth. So this is where we're at right now. Mm-hmm. So these are the Rainbow Roundtable initiations for the Magi Grail lineages and for Mother Sophia and all the Holy Grail lineages, as this is the time of resurrection and rising for all of our families.
I just wanted to add that, through being able to have the privilege to hold space for this course, we have met so many beautiful souls and reconnected with so much of our family. This has been such a major part of our mission, knowing that we did not come here to do this alone. I think some of us have been doing this alone behind the scenes for so long. And with the rise of unity consciousness and the unity code that we're really working to achieve, it's really time for us to come into these group containers, even if we don't fully understand what it is we'll be doing. We are full in surrender, knowing that this is our mission and that within us, within our soul blueprints and contracts that we hold, when we're able to show up for ourselves and let go of the fear of truly, embracing our spiritual power and all that we are and holding sovereignty in all aspects of our life, we're able to truly achieve miracles. I say miracles because when you let go of fear and choose love and come into unity consciousness, and when you come into alignment with your soul and your purpose, source fills your containers and your space and holds you in such love. And so we work with the frequencies of the Trinity, the Holy Mother, Holy Father, and Christed Child, and we hold this within our union. But all of us are able to hold this now within our own blueprints and templates. We are moving into out of a finite system that, a finite system cannot sustain itself. It's become parasitic, and we're moving back into, organic, infinite system of sustainability of energy. And so when it's in our containers, it is self-sustaining because we're connecting with source frequencies and source code. And so through this service to others, that is always the highest intention, to be of service to all. We're able to connect into that life stream, that organic, living, breathing light. And through that, through giving to be of service for ourselves and our lineages and our missions, we also give to ourselves. So it is, in service to the all, including ourselves. And so, you will grow just as much through this experience. Everything that you put into it and everything that you show up for, you continue to receive back. And with that, it'll be whatever is truly in organic alignment for you and your soul mission and soul trajectory. Because although, sometimes you can hear us speaking about, the rainbow rounds or the different lineages that we come from, some of this can feel, although there's a resonance, it can feel a little like another language. And we don't ever want that to deter people, because, your soul knows. And, yes, we are always about feeling into the resonance and the frequency of what we're speaking of. So if you're tuning in and you're saying, I don't know what they just said, but man, I feel it.
Exactly.
Pretty much all of us at some point, we follow our hearts and we show up and we trust the process. And when we let go of all those expectations and all attachments to what anything needs to be, then truly we're open to receiving that much more than we could possibly imagine.
Yes. It's a soul calling. It's as simple as that. Like, many of us have, done this work throughout lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And this is what we're here like to complete right now. So anyone that is wondering, like, how can I be of a higher service than what I may have been able to do so far? Like, my heart is open. I'm ready to do this. I want to be in something that's just so much bigger than like myself, you know, and to give that level of like dedication and devotion to this like path, you know, as much as you're going to receive like for yourself through this, it's going to be exponential when we come together in such a group like this to really make a difference. You know, this goes back to the original tribes of angelic humanity that were here, and they were 12 stranded DNA avatars. And this is part of like the restoration that's like occurring now as our sacred gifts are coming online. A lot of our ancient wisdom and knowledge is coming back, and we can look through, you know, all of the lineages, that whether it's like, you know, our Celtic lineages, our Druid lineages, we have all these like etheric, you know, Druid stone circles all over the world, and sacred sites. Like these held information for our families that are coming online now. You know, like I said before, there's a lot of work that had to be done up until this point, to where some of these locations were even safe for us to work with. But they're activating now, and they're activating in a way that is beyond what many of us are able to truly perceive, because they've been like key encoded with all of this information that's here for us now. So this is just like one of the little pieces within, you know, Christos avatar training, but we're working through the grids, we're working through the universal architecture, we're working through each one of our own like soul records and lineages to be able to retrieve all that you are, so you can have the confidence and the love and the, you know, the authenticity and integrity to like step forward within your own groups as leaders, as visionaries, and as wayshowers. So every healer that has come through has just radically been able to up level their fields and their containers, and also that, like I said, that confidence to know you're able to also work within like the architecture that we're working within as well too, because we teach that, and we feel it's really important, you know, at this time as well, to really be able to stand in our highest sovereignty and be empowered by the choices and decisions that we're making at this time. Yeah, I think anyone that's listening, feel into your heart, like this is a soul calling. You know, anything that we say here, literally, you'll just feel it.
Absolutely.
You'll get the feels.
Don't think, just feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't use your brain, use your heart. But it will ring throughout your entire body. You're like, I don't even know what this is about, but I need to do this. You know, and so I wanted to ask you this question. Who is this program for? Who is the Christos Avatar training for?
It is for our open-hearted family that is here at this time. I'm trying to remember the exact thing that my beloved was saying to me the other day, but, you know, God doesn't qualify the ones to serve. The ones that are ready to serve are qualified, you know, and I feel that's what this is about. So if you're feeling the call and you're ready to step into something, you know, that is truly a soul calling, and you've been looking for that within your life, this is it. You know, this is that call. So healers, visionaries, wayshowers, just somebody who's gone through an awakening and their heart is open and they know they're here for more. Like our Starseed families, our Indigo families, everybody that knows they had a mission their whole life and they may have not been fully stepping into it yet. That's who it's for.
Oof. Do you hear the call?
Yeah, and I think that's something we can all relate to. Like I knew ever since I was a child, no matter what stories were told to me, I knew I was here for something.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to share too is that we're going through such a massive up level and acceleration within the collective consciousness that we're actually able to reach, you know, such higher frequencies than we were ever able to before. And so there is a level of a changing of a guard that is happening within even the healing communities, within those who have been doing this a long time as well. So, everyone can get something out of this. And so what we work with here is to really provide what is needed to clear your vessel, to clear your energy. You mentioned about the clearing aspect, and this is huge because so many of us, we feel like we hit a wall in this journey where, we're doing all the things, we're meditating, we're eating healthy, we're trying to, kickstart our spiritual business or whatever it may be. But there is a point where we feel like we hit a wall. And that wall is, what we try to support our family with, bringing down and opening them up to receive, because we have a level of architecture that we have co-created with our beloved sister Ryan and Reza Melchizedek. They are also in a hierogamic union, and two hierogamic unions coming together to build this architecture has allowed for us to really create an immense amount of space to be held for our family and pillars through the four of us, in our unions, as Christ, Ryan, Richard, Rosalie, Melchizedek, as we call it. This is our architecture through our quad core hierogamic union architecture that we've built. And so with that, there is so much energy and frequencies that can come in to support you. And, we only work with that which is organic. And we hold a Christic container. And this is something that we're waking up to, that this is part of our organic nature. And we're also learning that, there are things within the system that is inorganic, and we're working to clear out the inorganic energies to only work with that which is truly organic to our angelic blueprint. And so we create a very safe space for our family to be able to expand and grow and to feel like they can feel safe in doing so without, feeling like, oh my goodness, like, am I shining too bright? Am I going to get attacked? We really help our family release all those fears of persecution. And we really help our family stand in their sovereignty through this, because the rise of the avatar is really understanding what is our spiritual power. How do we utilize that? How do we access that and open our hearts to receive the unconditional love that we are, but also using discernment and wisdom? So we kind of introduce this Trinity pillar of divine love, divine power, and divine wisdom. And together, that is where we can access our true organic consciousness, where we're able to truly rise and embody all that we are. Because we have a lot of our family who are very open-hearted, but do not have discernment. Or we have a lot of our family that are very focused on gaining spiritual information and reading all the books and, mentalizing it, but they're not truly in their hearts.
Yeah.
And there are parts of our family who, begin to really want to feel that sense of power that comes from activating your light bodies in the spiritual, and that power can be abused. So we really work at how can we integrate these energies to really be in service to the all and help our family rise. Because if you're not balanced and working through some of these energies, you can fall just as fast as you rise. So we really teach how to open our hearts is the number one thing. How do we work with these energies? How do we utilize the wisdom that is gained through these teachings? We have been working with, our birthright, which is, our languages. We've been unlocking our keys and our wisdom that is held through these stone circles. And so you will be able to access your spiritual wisdom and knowledge. But through that, we also focus on, continually bringing it back to the heart and continually focusing on, integrating the higher self and working through the higher mind and opening the higher heart to bridge this connection to, your higher self, God's self. And this is really what we teach in all of our courses. And with that, recipe, we're able to accomplish so much together in this space. And the level of family that we've been able to build through the bond of sharing this field together and growing together has been so fulfilling and rewarding, that in itself has been such a deep level of fulfillment and reward for each one that has been involved in this process.
Yeah, like 3 of our sacred pillars are, building unity, building community, and building support. So everything we do always focuses around that, because, we're all kind of relearning what like family is and what community is and what unity is and how we're able to support each other without enabling each other, but empowering each other.
Yes.
And this is, what we believe and what we build in everything that we do. So, the interesting part about this is like, this is an initiation. So all you have to do is show up with your highest intentions.
Yes.
And it's not about what actually happens, just in the moment, like you're with us in that now time. It's about how you show up in your life every day. And are you embodying, are you doing your highest, embody like your highest conscious path? Because you're going through an initiation too. So you will have those up and down moments, and you'll be things that were out of alignment in your life will come up for you to look at, and you're given such a rapid acceleration window to move through in this initiation, or these 12 initiations that are within this. Also, the interesting part about this, because we work with like the solar alchemical cycle, because this is how the transfiguration processes are coming through for ascension, is to do with the solar alchemical cycle. So all of our geomantic like blueprinting and templating that we've done for the course comes online like one solar cycle from when you started. So like you've been through it with us as well. So it doesn't even come online fully till a year later. So, and if I told you that, like, during the initiation, you wouldn't even believe that, because it's just so radical, the transformation that you're going through. But, so within this, we're talking about unlocking our consciousness memories of our family, restoring the avatar matrix, which basically since the fall of Lyra, the avatar matrix, which is dimensions 10, 11, and 12, has not been there since the Lyran gate was disconnected. So this happens on everything, has a macro representation and then a micro representation. So if the universal architecture doesn't have its like reconnection into source on a macrocosmic level, that architecture, you hold that too. So and that's part of what we call the avatar matrix, so which then plugs into like the solar rishik matrix. So this is all being reconnected now. But many of us still, we have, aspects of our being that may still be suffering trauma on some level, on a certain, station of identity. So not to like get and make this like too complicated, but, we move through so many different like layers within this like initiation. And it's kind of like one of those gifts that just keep on giving, because every time you're going to hit that solar cycle from when you started, those are going to kick off for you again, and you're going to have an opportunity to embody this on a whole deeper level.
So true. I'm like thinking about my experience through, and I joined the second class, and we just finished. So you're getting ready for the third one, and the third one is about bringing all of that together, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is going to be freaking amazing. Like, it's going to be so good.
If you look at like one of the sacred sites, Newgrange, right? All over Newgrange is the Triskelion. And this is what this represents. It's kind of one of, one of the older known like sacred symbols. This actually represents, the triple solar like goddess. It represents 3 sacred pathways of the inner heart, inner wisdom, and the inner worlds coming together as one. This can also be explained as birth, death, and resurrection. So we've done the first round, the second round, and then this is the third round. So it's about 3 paths coming together as one. as we also hold a very sacred like unity code that has just been building and amplifying through our quad core like hierogamic like union. And this is something that is also coming through this experience as well. 3 paths coming together as one. And this has a microcosmic representation of, Mother Sophia and the Christos families rising to here, and the angelic humanity and tribes resurrecting, as well as each one on that journey coming into that like inner union with God or source and with ourself and everything that you are. So there are so many like sacred pieces that are bridging here, and it's being bridged through community in this last round, where we bring each one together as one family, one tribe, on this journey together, walking hand to hand and heart to heart.
I was thinking, so the first group was birth. And then I was like, of course, Abigail, you step into that. Of course, right? But it also makes sense with all the transformation that I'm currently going through. Like I'm literally, when I talked about the beginning, the time, like I don't even know. It's like I've reached a point where it's like I'm redefining myself again, and I tell my clients and the goddesses that I work with, I'm like, it doesn't matter how much work you've done. We're always evolving. And on each level requires us to do the work so that we can fully come into ourselves. It's something that we just keep doing. And yeah, I was like, of course, I would come in at this time, to get the support that I need, but also to be in alignment with that transformation that is really wanting to occur within my life, which is, it's intense. I'm not going to lie. But I'm in, and I'm not giving up because I know where I'm headed. I know that that's where I need to be. I feel it on every level of my being, and anything that can help me really clarify my energy, my leadership, and who I am, so I can show up the best I can ever show up, I'm in. And your programs do exactly that. One of the things that I appreciate about being in your programs is you hold each person accountable for their own energies. And I love that. It's like you teach us how to do it. And then you're like, okay, we're about to go into this initiation. You got yourself in check. And I love that. I was like, yes, because that's you're empowering us to step into like, hey, own it. You have the systems, get it set. Like, I'm not here to do your work for you. And I freaking love what you guys do. I love your energy, and you're one of the few people, like spiritual people, who is not like woo woo. It's like, hey, we got work to do. It's real. It's like real. And you really amplify the importance of bridging both worlds, the spiritual world and the physical, and how they're actually one. We just separated them. And you have a beautiful way of doing that. So thank you for showing up for our family. Thank you for continuously to radiate your beautiful life, which I just love. I'm always like complimenting you guys.
Yeah, I also just like, so we don't like believe in the guru like relationship, and that's not anything we teach, or we don't want to be looked at as gurus. We're no different than anybody else. We've been through our journey of gnosis, and what we share is what we've learned through those experiences. And we, encourage and teach and share about each one becoming that like Christ itself, your avatar, what you are, and putting that into your like living expression. Each one is to embody the Christ. That's like this journey, or the solar Christ in masculine and your solar Christ in feminine, and to have that in like unison, so you can come into your own relationship with your highest self, with God, with source, and to embody that in the highest like expression that you're able to. Each one of us are here to do that. And that is, what is so important, and if we are doing everything for everybody, that's very disempowering for the ones coming forward. We want you to walk your path. And that's why we call this an initiation. Is you can show up for that hour or 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 hour initiation.
In those times, I just like, I'm like, okay, I'm here to receive. I'm just here to receive.
But it's like if you after that, it's up to you how you want to truly show up in your day, and you have to do your best to embody that, your highest Christ that you are, or however you want to relate to the terminology. It's about being that living expression in all that you do. You'll have ups, you'll have downs, but each moment is a sacred opportunity. There's a level of alchemy that's happening within each moment for you to alchemize the situations that are unfolding into opportunity to learn, to grow, and to embody like your lessons, so you can be of your greatest service.
Yeah. Whew. So let's step into the invitation. Who would you like to call into this container, and how can they find you, or how can they step in?
Can we share a little bit of light language?
Of course you can.
I feel so much coming through. So first of all, we just ask each one that's listening right now, whether this is live or on a replay, just to tune into your heart for a moment, to let go of all needing to know, and just truly open to receive all that's in your highest good.
So real quick, just when you went into that, there was a flash of light between the two of you. Yeah. You can go back and watch it so you see what I'm talking about. Like, it's incredible.
All right, beloved. So we're just going to set the highest intention for each one of our beloved family to hear this call. If this call is for you, feel it, hear it from your own highest God self. If you're to step into this now. Kurikia tia sayoroko matia fayoroko yaraki. Rashan madaridioroko yahaziaraki. Utana manana hasa yasiro maana. Yana Sofia kama sirkiati. Utiara mana iteroko yakazi. Kasio zio zomahama sayaraka. Utiaroko matia fisiti. Karahiro yoko to. Anayin moradioroko maazi. Yaserakir magizi gozi radiadi. Korakia koyo oko to.
Beloved family, you did not come here to play small. It is time to truly break free of all limitations, all fear, anything that is holding you back, as we truly let go of all resistance, as we choose love over fear, as we choose love over fear. It is time to be free. Hear our heart call. Alianuki atora matorieshiki atariashakarashamu. Remember the power that is within you. It is all within you, beloveds. Ania tariashaki atura marianotrieshiki. Alianotrieshaki anaramatrieshik tariashakura. Ashiaramati iramatu. It is time to rise and be all that we are and always have been. Anna Leonora ti eshiki atura mati Anna Leamu. We are calling you forward, beloveds. We are calling you forward. Ana arashia tora maki ana nalea notri eshiki aniti anu you. There is nothing to fear as we are spiritual warriors. Manyarianu, we were born for this. Alia notri eshiki kilia tora maki atura ashieto lamura matrieshi Aniki atu, we have been suppressed for far too long. Ala kuaratarashi ati. Nayamutariasha kita atura. Lamura mati eshe kita 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 kita. Lamu aliamura. Anati eshe tianu tariasha ki atura. Asha arama yana. Alianuki anamu. Mi ara. We are waiting for you, beloveds, and we are ready for you. Alianutriasha kita 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 kita. Feel our love. Alia ramate shiamur mati eshikianu.
We're calling all
Alamur atrieshikiatu
144,000 angelic tribes of humanity forward.
Liui
Beloveds, we encourage you to truly just feel into the heart resonance at this time. And if you are ready, wanting to, and just know you are here to do something that you have not been able to fully step into yet, this is your time. This is your calling. Let's come together as one family, as one tribe to do this sacred work. This is not a course or a program. It is a soul journey. It is a completion cycle.
Anna, it is time to release the illusions that has kept us held back. Anna, it is time to awaken. It is time to awaken. And reclaim what is rightfully ours. To reclaim our home, our kingdoms, our lands. Our beloved planet. Liamu, our mother. As Mother Sophia rises. Ashaki ala mura mati ashiki tiki 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 ana liamu, the solar Christ feminine and the solar Christ masculine, reborn within, is rising and awakening without. It is time. This is the time we have been waiting for. Liara Matiana Anna Liamu Lamura. Let's phase lock this organic ascension timeline of Ara Matena, Aurora New Earth.
Heart to heart, third eye to third eye, hand to hand, and wing to wing.
The rise of the Christos dragon kings and queens. Lumura etiashiatora kaya ati arama lamu ani amu liamu tariashiki, the restoration of the Cathar prophecy. The returning of the Cathars. Anna Ramayana. The Rose lineages. Miarashiatura Madriash Aliamudriash Aniaramati Ashakara. We call you forward now. Liamudriash receive our codes. Aliamura Kiatora Alamu Zuzu Lura Tiarama.
As we invite you into this journey of three paths, coming together as one, the inner wisdom, the inner heart, and the inner world, resurrecting through the rising of angelic humanity, being reunited through the 13th Maji Grail tribe, and family.
E ataramashiatu
And into our
namura.
holy sacred sanctum for unity
E
consciousness.
atora mariamu as Numeria rises. Liakura mate eshianu ana. Itiki atukai eshikiarama. Thank you, beloveds. Thank you.
Beloveds, we're calling you.
Putting it out into the collective. It is done.
It is done. These two are pure magic. I mean, I don't even have to convince you. I hope you felt that. And I hope you felt when I said they mean business. The gift you just received. Like yeah. See, Chelsea said I saw the flash of light too. See, thank you. Like I just love surrounding myself with people who get it, that we're not just here to be just humans who suffer and give up. We're here for more. And we're here to bridge all that we are, to bring it all together. And you two teach how to do that in such a beautiful way from the heart. And I hope you all felt this. So if you're interested in this, not if, when you know, please reach out to them or send me a message and I can connect you that way. So you can start. When does it begin? May 9th. May 9th. So it's coming up really quickly. So when you feel that full body yes, don't doubt it. Trust me on this. Don't doubt it. Go for it and see what opens up for you.
If you're seeing through the cracks in the matrix and wanting to jump through, like, this is your time and this is your calling.
Exactly. Thank you, my loves, for joining me for blessing and activating me and clearing me out. I'm ready.
Well, thank you for having
so
us
much,
on, Abigail.
as
We
always.
love you so much, and we always honor and appreciate spending this time with you.
Likewise, you know it already.
My Andromedan sister.
Yes. From my heart, my full overflowing heart to you all. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Enjoy.